G'day guys and welcome back to the JFBS SuperCoach channel. And today we have finally got AFL team picker. It's very early. Got this on the 17th of the 12th, 2025. The team picker's only available for people who have got SuperCoach Plus, including myself. I've only got it because I'm using it for 4 different platforms, and I think it's a bit worth it using the data and analysis off that. But anyways, if you don't have SuperCoach Plus, normally other creators have said that they come around at drops around Australia Day, so make sure to tune in for when that drops. But for the people like me who have got it early, we've got it here right now. It's pretty cool, I won't lie. It's exciting. There's just so many players and so many different teams that I think a lot of people will have. There's going to be a lot of players that I think there's going to be a few players I think everyone will have, especially in that forward line, I'm pretty sure. If I look at my teams, yeah, I've got 2 different teams, and I kind of like the look of them. So we'll see how we go. We can have a look at some rookies. I think I'm definitely going to be doing stuff like fixtures, especially at the start. Like, for example, Port Adelaide have a really easy fixture, so I think a lot of people are going to have Butters and captain him. Obviously, we've got the AFL fixtures here. This is the first round, or opening round, really, and every team plays in this. When I say every teams play in this, so you kind of want to avoid, I'm going to be trying to target a few more of these players. Not that it really matters, but as long as you've got someone to take over from them. Also, they're probably a decent loop to have in the first, I think it's at round 2 that they start having them. So they have 4 there. There's another 6 that have buys, so it would be 2, 2, and 2, I reckon. Oh no, 4 and 2. And then we don't have buys. I think it's round 12. It's over 4 rounds, which is really shit. 4, 2, Richmond and GWS, the only ones in round 13. 4, that's 10. 4, 14, 18. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 rounds where there are teams with buys. So I probably will be planning out. I mean, we've got months to really plan out the best fixturing when it comes to footy. So I think I'll be planning to make some videos around fixturing and what players to kind of bring in and bring out of your lineup. But I think let's bring some guys in. I'm going to put some players in that I think are pretty, what's the word? I can't think of the word, but everyone will have these players. I've kind of watched a couple of videos of a couple of creators that I enjoy watching, and I was just having a look at what players they have and what the reasons were. So without further ado, I don't know. I'm going to choose some guys that are going to be pretty obvious to pick. So I think the forward line we can easily pick out here. So I think Harry Sheezel is definitely if you don't have him on your team, I don't know what you're doing, honestly. Last year was a little bit frustrating. He'll have games where he had a 50, but then he had a 52 disposal game against Richmond last year. So you've got those 2 games. If Clarko wasn't mucking around with him, he'd be around 115 points, I reckon, and he'd be close to 600k. So I think having him in the forward line is a really good steal and get. Another guy that's really good, who has moved from Gold Coast to St Kilda, is Sam Flanders. Kind of beefs up their midfield a bit. He will be, I'm assuming he will be part of that midfield. I know they got rid of Jack Steele, but their starting midfield will have McRae and Flanders, and I'm trying to think of some other midfielders or players from St Kilda. Wow, Max Hall is the most expensive guy in the forward line. I could just go. Oh, true. They do play Naz. Sinclair as well. So probably those guys kind of running around and through. Trying to think of any other guys. Hugo Garcia, if he gets into the best 22. Trying to think. Not really. That's probably it. So I think Flanders, along with McRae, are pretty kind of solid guys that'll be in that starting 22, 23 for St Kilda and being in that, like, as soon as that round one bounce against Collingwood, he'll probably be in the middle, I reckon. Other guys that are pretty obvious, also good value, is Adam Treloar. Now, obviously, this is a world where there's zero injuries, and last year he just had a really terrible run when it came to injuries. And having him at 311k is an absolute steal. We can't click on his profile, which is a bit annoying, but and previous years, I probably could if I went back to home and stuff and looked at all the details, but I think it was like only a couple of years ago where he was just, dominating in that Bulldogs midfield. But you've got to probably take into consideration some other Bulldogs midfielders. You've got the starting trio of, Bont, Libba, and you've got Ed Richards, who's been coming in and filling in that role. Matthew Kennedy as well has been coming in. Joel Frazier's emerging. Trying to think of some other guys. That's probably it from just a general look. So the question is are they going to play him forward? They might play him half forward. That would probably be a bit of an issue, I reckon. Other guys who will be highly owned, I reckon a lot of people will have Dersma. Just in general, first overall pick in the AFL draft. I kind of have no doubt they'll play him. I'd be pretty surprised if the Eagles didn't decide to start with him in round 2 or round 1, really. Sorry. That's the only guy I can really think of that from that draft that, I would just off face value or just, just thinking off the top of my head, I think he'll be definitely up there. I'm just looking at my screenshots, some other guys that will be pretty highly owned or decently used. I know a lot of people are going to go with Jagger Smith. Obviously, he tore his ACL early in the year, didn't play a single game this year. Hopefully, he's fit and ready to fire up and run for next year. For Carlton, hopefully you see him in that starting midfield as well. But, you've got Cripps, you've got Hewitt and what's his face, Walsh in that midfield. So definitely some guys to look out for. Some other rookies as well. We could probably look at the more focus on the rookies because I think that's what a lot of people are kind of looking for, of who's the best rookie to go for. I personally, as a Richmond fan, I am pretty high on Sam Grill. A lot of good things and words coming out of the Richmond camp saying that he's just lining up training and he's been flying off halfback. The only issue is that we've got Sam Banks, who's really emerged, and Jaden Short as our starting 1 and 2. And when either of them go onto the bench, if I look at Richmond defenders, I want to say Tom Brown kind of takes over that role. Same with Nathan Broad. They play up that high half back. Luke Traynor as well. Like, it's a pretty decent defense that he's going to go through. Like Vlosten, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Depending what they want to do with Bolt with 7, Trainer with 8, and Gibcus, I know they want to play with. So that's 9 players. They could run Grill into the midfield, but it is early days. I'm just speaking out of my ass at the moment, just for some little bit of context. Another guy from Richmond, which I probably should have selected just before, Josh Gibcus. His price has been going down ever since I think the first year that he came in, and he's just been getting injury riddled every year, and it's super unlucky. Hopefully, this is the year that he doesn't. If he gets injured again, I'm going to be very surprised if Richmond keep him, just because we kind of just got a list spot just for Gibcus to recover, and it's his 2nd or 3rd injury, and it's super rough. I was really excited because I was like, we can get like another Alex Rance or something like that, but hopefully he does play. Another Richmond guy, I think this might be the last Richmond bloke I might be bringing into this team, is Josh Smiley. Um, Kind of similar with Jagger Smith, just injury riddled all last year. He did play a couple of VFL games, but he was pretty injury prone last year. So hopefully it's not the case with that this year. Other guys, we can go for other rookies. I think I've got Sharp in this team. Dyson Sharp for Essendon. I think he's going to be starting. That Essendon team's a bit interesting of what they want to do, but I ultimately think that they're not going to. I don't rate Essendon very highly. I mean, if you lose to Richmond last year, which Essendon did, in arguably one of the worst games of all time, I wouldn't be like, and how injury riddled they were. I don't know what they're doing, but Dyson Sharp, I feel like should be playing as well as I think Sullivan Roby. I do have him in the forward, but he did pick up an injury in preseason, or when I say preseason, like preseason training. Don't know. I think they said he probably won't be back till the preseason game, so I'm not very confident he'll be starting. But we just have him there for now. Is there any other guys? I do like Zeke Euland. I did hear that he might be playing some wing, considering that like Fiorini and Flanders have kind of left Gold Coast. I know Petrarca's come in, so bit bit of a difference, a bit of a change going around with Gold Coast. And I don't. It could be the Levi Ashcroft thing where we probably keep Euland till around round 12, where he's kind of made up his money and he kind of stays at that 400k mark. And steadies there for the rest of the season. So I reckon he might be a similar case as Levi Ashcroft was to this year. Some other guys. We can go with some West Coast guys. So I think I've got down here. For now, I've got there's a lot of Coopers. This will be easier. Cooper Duff Heitler. I don't know how I haven't seen anyone with him on the team, but it'd be interesting, like with him and Bailey Williams and Matt Flynn, they might start him forward, or they might start him forward and putting him to the ruck into his early games. He's going to be a 19-year-old, 18-year-old playing ruckman. I don't know who they play in round one. I think it's Gold Coast actually. Yeah, so it probably wouldn't be a good idea to put him in the ruck against probably one of the more experienced ruckmen in the AFL in Jared Witts. But I've got him there for now. I can always change the look of my team and just move some guys around. And I've got Dev Robertson in here. Obviously, with the Eagles getting those extra, is it SPP or SSP spots? It's one of the two. So they got an extra 3, I think, with the compromisation from the AFL. They chose Robertson, McRae, and who else did they take? This would be easier to go with Flex, West Coast. They'll be towards the bottom. So, yeah, they've got 47 players. Was it Harry Schoen? I think it might have been Harry Schoenberg. I'm going to go, yes, I think it was Harry Schoenberg, Dev Robertson, and who was the other guy I was going with? McRae. Finlay McRae. I've got him in my... Oh, do I not have... No, I do. I've got him in my midfield here. People are saying that they might play early, but this is the first initial team that I've made, and I kind of like what I've got so far. So my forwards are pretty complete. I do have this is the thing about the forwards. You could easily just go, if I just don't want West Coast forwards. Like Petrarca, such an easy pick. It's like with Sheasel, like Petrarca and Harry Sheasel are just so if you see them in your forward line, you're grabbing them first. But I don't know how confident I am with the start of how, with Petrarca and Gold Coast, how is it going to fit in with him being there? Is he going to be playing more forward, or is he going to be playing more midfield? I reckon it'll be around 60-40 midfield forward, and probably vice versa for Took Miller and going 40-60. He could definitely be someone, Took Miller in particular, definitely a guy that like tags a bit more. I know Damien Hardwick doesn't like doing it, but maybe just a change of heart might happen. But we'll see with Petrarca. I'm probably going to wait after the first 5 weeks with him. Some other forwards like you could easily pick are like Isaac Rankin, but he misses round one. Nick Martin, such a shame he won't be playing this year at all. Sam Darcy, if he was a bit cheaper than like around 400k, you'd probably go with him. I love Zach Bailey. I love the way he plays. Dylan Moore. Some other guys that I mean, they're not on my initial team, but I was thinking about is Nick Watson as well as a cheaper version of Brent Daniels. Daniels. Yeah, so 300k and 354k. Brent Daniels obviously a bit injury riddled last year, and Nick Watson, I thought there's just been conversations about him having a run into that midfield for Hawthorn. And obviously, they're not getting Zach Merritt. They still got Will Day and Jai Newcomb, who are some other Hawthorn midfielders. Like, I'm not saying that it's weak, but like Connor Nash, like, they're not like they're not your Bontempellis. They're not your Christian Petrarcas, for example. Like, they're supposed like they don't like John Newcomb would be like an A minus at best, in my opinion, or Will Day would be like you need A plus guys. Like the Bulldogs and Brisbane midfielders are just like A plus midfielders in general. Whereas I think like they're good. I'm not disregarding Hawthorn guys, but I'm just saying it's just a little bit weaker in my opinion. So going that Nick Watson route wouldn't be too bad. And Brent Daniels plays high half forward, and he does get the ball quite a bit when he's at his best. So just keep that into perspective as well. Let's do some Ruckman. We'll get them out of the way. So I went with Gawn and Cherry. Oh, no, I didn't. I went with Gawn. I went with Cherry and Grundy. Did anyone? No one really came in for Sydney, but he had a really good end to the year last year. It's the only worry I have with Brodie Grundy is just the amount of free kicks he gives up. And I don't think Melbourne plays either in they don't play opening round, no. Which kind of I'll see how much money I have in the end. I don't think I have that much. But if I do, I'll probably go with Max Gawn over Grundy. I just want to have guys that I'm locking in. Before I go into that, oh God, I can't spell. Liam Reedy for Carlton. There's also been conversations that he might be starting. The starting Ruckman for Carlton, which is beautiful value. There's one more Ruckman this, which I feel like will surprise quite a few people. But going back to Grundy and Cherry, I just want guys that are going to be there the whole year. I don't mind paying up quite up forward when it comes to Ruckman. Oh, excuse me. But I look at the rest, like spending 60k, like Luke Jackson might, like there's also rumours that he might be playing a bit more midfield. I mean, Darcy Cameron's really good. He can have a really good game, but I feel like he's got a high ceiling, but he's got a little bit of a low floor, which is a bit bad. Same with Lloyd Meek and Jared Witts. Like these 105 averages, I don't know. I'd rather see two 140s than a 140, 105. I mean, duh, but seeing that consistently every week with my Ruckman would be great. Do I have any more rookies? Listened to a couple guys, and they have Will Brodie, and I bring him in too. I think I would have made that decision before listening to watching the videos, but Will Brodie brought in by Josh Carr really wanted to bring him in, so and apparently Will Brodie was under the work of Josh Carr when he was in Fremantle, so. And was it 3 years ago, 2022 season, he had like an average of 27 disposals. So I reckon he'll definitely be a really good guy to have. And I think Josh Carr is high on him as well. Also has an easy run. Speaking of, we will get a very easy picking guy. What do we do? We haven't really touched on the defenders again. I'm going everywhere. I'm going really cheap really early. Sorry for this. But defenders, let's just finish the defenders. I don't need to search him up because he's number one. Nazai Wanganeen-Milera, I think he's. Where do I want to say he's the best? He's definitely. I reckon he's top 10 in the AFL. He was definitely top 5 going into the back end of the year, but so many guys I've got to consider and think of. I've also gone with Connor Rozee because of that really easy run, which kind of alludes to Butters being super duper easy. With the easy run, I can go into in depth with you. They play North round 1. I can actually just select the team, can't I? Here we go. So round 1, they play North. Round 2, Essendon. Round 3, West Coast. Round 4, Richmond. Round 5, St Kilda. Then they get a bit tougher. Yeah. So after probably round 5, so their first 5 games, like I'm not saying it's like St Kilda. Oh, they might tag them with St Kilda, but like these first 4 rounds is like an easy lock for captaining on Butters. So I reckon a definite go for him. Who else am I? I'm really high on this guy, especially towards the end of last year. I thought he was one of the best in the AFL, Noah Anderson. I think he'll continue to thrive. Who else do I have? I have a feeling that this guy is just going to go even better. Will Ashcroft at 545. I feel like it's pretty decent value. You've got, I know their midfield's very clogged, and I know he kind of starts on the bench, but you've got like Dunkley, Neal, and McCluggage as your starting 3, and then Ashcroft comes off the bench, I'm pretty sure. But when you think about it, Neal and McCluggage are the 1-2 punch that always get tagged. And I've got a feeling that the Hugh McCluggage percentage rate of him getting tagged is going to be a lot more. And the risk of the risk of Lachie Neale getting tagged is going to be a lot lower. Also, there's it's just another year on his age as well. So I think that's why I'm going with Will Ashcroft at 545k is pretty good. I like Errol Goulden at this price as well. And I mean, this is, what is this? 26k extra is Caleb Sarong, which is pretty good. Guys like Sam Walsh would be good if he doesn't get injury. LDU is actually a pretty decent price at 526, but did average 97 and did frustrate a lot of people last year. Jack Steele's decent with that really weak Melbourne midfield. And let's round out the the midfield with Darcy Parish. Now 334k, didn't play that much last year. How many games did he play? 3 games, an average of 88. So I think he'll make money, I reckon. If you can get up to 450k, that's 120k. Get him and a guy like Will Brodie or McCray, like one of these rookies, just upgrade them with Parish to another rookie and a primo. Perfect and happy days is what I was supposed to say. At the start of the video, I probably should have gone the route of, going defenders first, then midfielders. But I wanted to go cheap first, so guys have options as well. I think a lot of people are going to have McKercher. I forgot to probably put that. McKercher's a guy that North Melbourne like to play off the half back as well, which I think the reason why Sheasel being there is too. 450k. I don't mind not having him as well. I think there's probably a couple of better options, in my opinion. A guy that I did miss, Callum Mills, only played the second half of the year due to his broken arm in that arm wrestling match. But I think, what was I going to say? I think he'll be decent. I think he'll do better than this year. His average was a 99, and that's 530k. It's kind of around that price. Being stupid. Ignore me. And my bench, I have got, not my bench, but if this man can stay healthy, that would be great. Kaneen Coleman. He was a little bit injury riddled last year with the ACL the year before. Was it this year? This year. Was it this year or last year? He did it in. Oh my god, I'm losing my marbles. Not last year, the year before. He did his ACL, and he's kind of come back not in great form. Last guy, look, this is a pick that I think all of the three guys that I've seen have got him is Jai Sarong from Hawthorn, traded to Sydney, I'm pretty sure. So I think, and they say that he might play, and I'm pretty happy to do that. 120k, he can be the new Riley Bice, which is great. Forwards, let's round it out. Got two spots, and I know who they are. Kind of similar to a couple of other guys that I mentioned. Mateus Philippou, kind of similar with Kadeen Coleman, Gibcus, Darcy Parish. If he can get healthy, I reckon he'll do super great. This 34.6 average is not Mateus Philippou that we know. To be fair, St Kilda have beefed up their list quite a bit. Not saying that he's probably not. He is probably in the best 22, but there's a good amount of people in front of him, unfortunately. So if he can stay healthy and in good form, that'd be great. Another guy who didn't play at all last year is Todd Marshall. I think Josh Carr, a lot of people are saying that he's experimenting with Todd Marshall being a fullback, helping out I nearly said Aaliyah down back, being a centre halfback or fullback. I want to say that he did play it in his junior years. Don't quote me on that. I felt like he had some kind of background to being a defender. It might be Georgiades. I might be confusing myself, but one of those two. But so I'm pretty happy at 147k. He can go towards the back. Another guy at that forward line that I liked was Hugo Hagen at 214k. But I think it's going to be an early round thing. If he just comes out firing, I think it's a decent idea to go after him. All right. That's my whole team. Let's just save it for now. We'll just do the best team on. So we'll swap Coleman there. Anderson is coming on for McRae. You go on for... we'll just do Smiley, and Parish you can come on for... say Sharp for now. I'll have you two there. Now my flex position. It's going to be an interesting one. I don't know if a lot of people have thought of this yet, but I've got 403k. You can see the options at around this price, but I think there's a guy that's kind of in front for me. And his name is, wherever he is, I can't find him now. Okay, he's not here. Where is he? Sam Draper. At 396k, he ended the season last year not playing due to injury. I think it was Achilles. I'll double check with that. But if he plays round one, he is 110%. Like, I'll be having this. I've got 5 Ruckman, which is really good. 4 of them, or 3 I know will be starting rucks. A 4th one is a chance to be, and then he probably won't be. But this is good. I like this this kind of DPP stuff. I think Brisbane have round 0 as well. Port Adelaide. So not even a bad option to have. They play the Dogs. If Draper is injured, I won't have him, obviously. So I'll need to rejig my team. But I think this is the team that I go with going into the season, as in like right now. Obviously, I'm going to be changing my team left, right, and center. Like the guys that I feel not so confident about are probably, well, let's save the team again. We can see like top to bottom who's where. I kind of wanted a 4th primo in the midfield, but there's just so much value, and Ruckman as well. Like, I could easily go Grundy down to someone else and potentially upgrade them to like buy low, sell high kind of Ruckman deal. I saw SDS SuperCoach. He did Conway and Sean Darcy Beefcake, which is a very interesting one, considering that they might play Jackson in the midfield, but also Darcy being injury prone. There's a lot of things going on in the AFL at the moment. But as I look at this team, I do like it. Let's say everyone's healthy. I would say pretty much everyone, maybe except for, I'm trying to think of some guys like Sarong potentially. So that's one. Coleman's going to be hard to get into, but he could be the half backup. But Wilmot has really excelled in that role, as well as Zorko. Maybe Zorko takes a step back. Smiley, I think so, maybe 3. McRae 4 potentially. Reedy will just say 5 for now. Roby 6. I think he will just be too injured. Robertson 7. There's about 7 guys. Obviously, you can change it to the point where we know, these guys are in the best 22, and we can swap that around. So, yeah, thanks for tuning in. Sorry that this took a while. Let me know what you guys think of the team so far. Obviously, I can take as much criticism as possible because it is day 1 or day 2 the day I'll be posting this of, choosing the team. I'm super duper excited that AFL's coming back. I'll be focusing a lot more this year. Last year, I finished I think it was 7,500, I think, which I think might be the top 5. It's definitely top 5%, I think. So I'll definitely, knowing that I can get to that spot now, I probably will do more research on some guys and probably read up more on articles and stuff. So just pay attention to me potentially dropping some amazing stuff, just as the best guy around. I could probably get rid of Grundy and get Gorn potentially, and then bring in a forward. How much do I have? 162. Just because I prefer Gorn. Let's just do a highest price. Anyone that's interesting, Max King. I know he's going for another surgery, which is a bit disappointing. Lafau, probably another guy. Let's just go with him. There we go, got 15K. I like that. Let's keep it as it is. Let's stop making changes. That'll do it for me. Like I said, tell me what you think of the team so far. Let me know what guys you've gone differently, or some rookies that you guys have gone who you think you're high on. Just let me know everything. Let me know everything about footy, your ideas, and your plans for the year, because originally I wanted to go guns and rookies, but to be fair, there is always good value in SuperCoach. But anyways, thanks for tuning in. Hopefully you guys have a good week, and I'll see you guys next time. Cheers.